Hey, Tony Gaskins here, back with another episode of Talks with Tony. So now we moving right along. I'm behind. This is from February 15th. We almost in April. But this one ain't got too this ain't too long. So let me see here. Hello, Tony. I hope that this email finds you well. I am so thankful to you and your family for the time that you spend coaching us. I remember years ago I came across your channel and you were speaking about how straightforward writing a book could be, and how at times you would just voice record your thoughts and ideas and later edit them, resulting in a new birthing of a book. I was so pleased with this information that I remembered it years later when my mother and I decided to start writing our journey, and boom, I have been glued to every video you have produced since the end of 2019. I am writing to you today to ask for your thoughts and guidance. The current narrative these days is that women want the bad boy and later settle for the good guy. However, I find that a lot of men, most men, start off as seemingly good men. They are nice, driven, and seemingly want to build a better future than the lives they had growing up. But as the relationship grows, in my experience, I have learned that they become manipulative in ways that become destructive to one's emotional and spiritual well-being. Abusive, mentally, actually, financially, physically, or simply counterproductive for argument's sake on regular basis that creates stagnation and lack of progress. Being an avid listener to your message, I know that these are signs for me to get my track shoes and run. Run, Forrest, run. And I have. Haha. My question is, after month 12, when some of these red flags start to become apparent and may be present due to a rough upbringing and a lack mentality, insecurities, or whatever, is there a way to resolve this manner without leaving? Most men seem to have something wrong with them because they are human. I have taken the high road many times where I sit through it and hear him out, speak life into him, suggest therapy and coaching, practice positive psychology, pick up in areas that he may be weak in, or become docile and go with what he is asking. I have also set hard standards and note that I will not tolerate, i.e. yelling, cursing, lack of communication, cheating, etc. I have also tried these methods in various orders, but I know that everyone is broken in certain ways and requires patience, including myself. I just would like to know, how do you continue to build with someone that is seemingly Dr. Jekyll, ambitious, loves God, wants happiness in marriage, etc., but morphs into Mr. Hyde every full moon due to society telling him that women are beneath him and that men also have no value, which women like myself remind him every day that even if the world doesn't need or want him, I do. Seems to not be enough at times. I cannot fight the world. Thank you, Tony, for your time, and continued blessings, grace, and abundance to your family, following, and everything that you touch. Sincerely, Miss Mystery Lady. P.S. There are men in real life. These are men in real life, not the Tinder swindler men. That's a great question. It is a really great question. And it hits home for me too, because I could be this man too. You know, it's a lot of times where I'm just not feeling it, and just the world, you know, as men, we get these messages all the time, and it's just subconsciously. Like when I talk about the men in the dark, a lot of people don't understand that, and they get upset about, you know, me addressing these men with these toxic podcasts. And the reason why is because even though I know better, and even though I do this every day, those podcasts, when I hear those 2-minute, 3-minute snippets, they affect me too. So, and I'm refuting the messages. Like, I have sense. I know better, and they affect me too. Like, I will hear it and they will change my spirit, put me in a disgruntled mood, put me in a mood of wanting to check my wife, wanting to get my wife to do more for me and worship me and serve me. Like, I will feel those things, and I have to consciously confront those thoughts. So, and this is what I do every day. So imagine the men who don't do what I do. Imagine the men who don't think the way that other men who are healthy relationship conscious thinks. Imagine the men who have childhood trauma. And that's a lot of men. So this is very, very normal. It's very common. It is not something that, it is something you're going to see in most men. Maybe 90 to 99% of men are going to be like this. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I've always heard I have never seen a movie or the book or whatever that comes from, but yes, this is. And let me tell you what my wife does. What she does is she checks me on it. Like, for some time, she would be, like you said, in the very beginning, before we got together, like before it was real, she had like options and all of this, you young, she could just pick up and leave. I could tell like she can up and leave. But then once you get married and you get in a relationship, men, we start to feel more comfortable dumping our stuff on our woman because you married or you got kids or both. And so to a certain degree, the woman is trapped. And what women have to do is always remember that you can never make a man feel that you're trapped. And it don't sound like you married with kids, but you still, by shrinking, by being docile, by doing those things, you will make a man think that he has you trapped. As men, we have to feel and believe that a woman will leave us in order for us to treat her with respect. It's not something that will, and when I say as men, I'm not saying every single man. So understand that. Sometimes people ignorantly say in the comments, oh, you can't speak for every man. Duh. So understand this. I'm not saying every single man, but this is most men now. At some point, men, we will dump on our woman, dump our stress, dump our insecurity, dump our trauma, dump our pain onto the woman and expect her to carry that, to pick that up, to hold that burden, and to pat our back and to rub our head and kiss us on the cheek, kiss on the forehead, to baby us, to pamper us. That is what most men will do at some point in the relationship. And a woman has to have the strength and the wherewithal to say, hey, you cannot and will not talk to me like a child, like your property, like you don't appreciate me, and like I'm not appreciating and loving you. I am a human. I have a heart. I have to be, and I demand to be respected, or this is not the best thing for us, and I will move on with my life. A woman has to make that known. You have to make it clear. And the man for you will hear you and he will adjust. He will do what he is supposed to do. He will respect you to no end. He will respect you and he will man up and he will grow. And that's what my wife had to do to me. She had to let me know, like in so many words, like, listen, I'm a human. I got stuff going on in my life too. You ain't the only one who needs matter. And she didn't say it exactly like that, but in so many words, she let me know that. And sometimes it would be, and it can't really be with a silent treatment. Sometimes my wife would be quiet and just like she accepted it, but it would be tearing her up inside. And then later she let me know that, as we got into our marriage, the first 2-3 years was tough. She let me know that, by me being so blunt and me being, so direct and me talking to her a certain way, I didn't curse or call her out a name or anything, but just still, even without cursing. So imagine a man who curses. Imagine a man yelling and cursing and calling names. Like, it could get way worse. So even without me doing those things, the conversation still could be so tough, so harsh that some people never forget words that they hear. And then some people never remember the words that they've said. And so as a woman, you have to make this known to the man, and you got to let a man know. See, the thing that a lot of times when a person is being belittled or attacked, a lot of times as humans we'll shut down. But when you express yourself and you tell your partner how you feel, you express how you feel, and you say, listen, when you talk to me like this, or when you treat me like this, you strip me of my self-love. You strip me of my self-worth, and you make me feel 2 inches tall. You make me feel worthless. You make me feel like nothing, and I am becoming a shell of myself. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want, and I don't know where I'm going. And it's because of the verbal abuse that you have levied upon me. And then he will have a rebuttal. He will have an excuse, but you have to then reiterate what you just said. And you cannot come down off of that. You cannot walk away from that. And you have to drive the point home. If you have to say it 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, you have to end the conversation with him understanding what his words and what his actions are doing to you. And you cannot allow him to deflect. You cannot allow him to escape the smoke. You have to make sure he hears you and he feels you, and that he gives you an agreement that he will grow, he will change, and he will stop acting out the way he's been acting out. And when he understands that, that's going to make a world of difference. And that's what you have to get out there. And when you do that, you'll see things change. You will start to see things change. And when it changes, you got to embrace the change. You got to jump back into the normal. You can't keep dragging along. You can't keep throwing his past in his face. You can't keep bringing it up. You got to get back right to where y'all were, and you got to continue to build. Continue to build and add on to that. And when you do that, that's when you're going to see that things change for the better. That's when it's going to happen for you. So, hey, listen to me on this right here. Get this in your spirit. She mentioned the birth your book. Right now, it's a code happy 15, happy 15. That's in honor of my wife and I 15-year anniversary. So when you go to get your next course on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, the link is in the description. The code is in the description, Lord willing. But if not, just play back the video. And it's going to give you 50% off your courses. And the reason why I'm doing this is a way I could bless my wife. You know, I come on here and I spend all this time on here, and I just had to get off the phone with her and stop talking to her to shoot this video. So I give a lot of my time to my work, which takes time away from her. And so whenever she has a birthday, Mother's Day, or something like that, I always run a sale so I could be a blessing to her. And I got a blessing that y'all are helping me, get her for our 15-year anniversary. And it has not been easy. It's spiritual warfare, tests, trials, tribulations, ups and downs. It ain't all peaches and cream. I know when I come on here and I talk about this and I, praise her and all of that, it may make it sound like it's easy. And when I say, our relationship is perfect, that's not saying that we don't have issues. It's just me understanding the power of words and appreciating the flaws and the mistakes and the lessons, and still calling that perfection. Not saying that there's nothing that ever goes wrong. There's no, arguments, tough conversations, and all of those things. So I want you to understand that. And I'm intentional about this thing. And I just love to be a blessing to my wife. You know, I love to bless her. Whether and I had gave y'all on my mailing list and in the Blessed Tribe, I posted her Cash App. And a few people sent her a blessing. Somebody sent her something to Venmo. And she was just blown away. She was blown away by you for doing that. And I just really, really thank you for just showing that love. Like, she got to see the type of, you know, crew, tribe that we're building. And she got to feel that love. Like, man, somebody sent me a Cash App because you gave them my Cash App. Like, y'all must be doing some real work over there. And she got to see and feel that. So I'm gonna put that in the description too. Y'all know I don't even put mine in there, but when it comes to my wife, hey, I'll be tacky, a beggar, or what have you. Now, I ain't gonna walk up on the stage and slap nobody now. I ain't gonna do that now. But I'll be a lot of other stuff. Now, if a man tried to come out of now, that's different. But I ain't gonna walk up there and slap nobody. I ain't got to that level yet now. God bless that brother. Them brothers that was in there. But hey, this SheriAGaskins. And listen, I may have a video come up right after this one because I don't feel like talking an hour. But I may, with these 15 minutes, I may boop, 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 boop. You might see 3, 4, 5 in a day. But it's just one question at a time. And then sometime when I got a lot of energy, I got more energy, and I could do a whole hour. So it'll be a mixture for those of you who like the hour and those of you who like the shorter ones. It'll be a mixture. And then, but if I got them going up, I may have them closer together, like an hour, 2 hours apart. This SheriAGaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.